Hey guys, in today's video, we're going to be doing a diamond camo guide specifically for the SMGs. And if you did not see my headshot video that I uploaded, I highly recommend you go check it out because that video gives you a really good tutorial on how to get easy headshots. And that is because the majority of weapons in Black Ops 2, you do need 100 headshots in order to unlock other challenges to get the gun gold. So in today's video, we're going to go over how to do the second part of the challenges. I will give you some tips and tricks really quick on how to get your 100 headshots, but for the most part, this is going to be going over all of the camos after you finish your headshots. So if you are struggling a little bit, you see you're maybe getting 5 or 10 playing domination or something, I highly recommend going into free-for-all because in free-for-all, you do have a lot of people red gunning. There are not as many snipers as you would think. And even if there are, you can usually spawn very close to them, so you can get into gunfights and win against snipers with SMGs and shotguns and free-for-all. You're very capable of doing that with how close the spawns are sometimes. So don't be intimidated if you see people are quick scoping a lot, or don't rage quit if you see you can't get up close to them. Even when they start trick shotting, you'll be able to get headshots. You can use a red dot sight if you want in addition to your two attachments. I did that for some guns, and for other guns I use two attachments, just a laser sight and quick draw. It comes down to preference at the end of the day, but I do realize some people don't like to verse a lot of snipers. Me personally, I have not ran into a lot of snipers in free-for-all. What you can do to mitigate that if you are running into a lot of them is vote for the maps they don't like to play on. Grind, Encore, Frost, Downhill. If you don't have the DLC, it's going to be maps like Slums, Aftermath. Maps that aren't attractive for the snipers to trick shot on are the maps that you're going to want to vote for to have a smoother gameplay and get more headshots. And I promise you, this method in free-for-all works if you can get it down pat. I'm telling you, I got maybe a gun gold a day, maybe even two. I got my MP7 and PDW gold on the same day, and then my Scorpion and 𝐃𝐞𝐯, I got gold in the same night. So it got to a point where I was just being super efficient. I was getting maybe 15 a match, and I was getting my 100 headshots in less than 10 games. If you can get 100 headshots in borderline 1 hour, that's a game changer. That's a real game changer. So moving on from the headshots, if you have not seen the original headshot guide, I highly recommend you go check it out. But moving on, we're going to get into the camos that you need to do after you get your 100 headshots, starting with carbon fiber. Carbon fiber, you're going to need to get 30 revenge medals, and a revenge medal is you're killing the player who just killed you in the previous life. So there are different ways you go about this. I was playing nuke jacked and just running towards the player who just killed me in my spawn, or whether I was spawn trapping them. So it was super easy to play on Nuketown or hijacked. And if you're playing free-for-all, you can also play free-for-all because the spawns are very close. So the person who kills you, odds are you'll spawn very close to them in the next life. So I would recommend playing either Nuketown or hijacked whenever you see it in the game modes, or you can play free-for-all. That would be the easiest way to get the revenge medals. Now, moving on to the Art of War and the Cherry Blossom camo. The reason why I'm doing these at the same time is because the best way to go about this is doing them at the same time. For one of them, you need to use a weapon with no perks, and for the other one, you need to use a weapon with no attachments. So now you're going to need to get 150 kills for each of the categories, so doing it simultaneously will save you a lot of time rather than doing it one at a time, because that will equal 300 kills. So doing 150 at the same time is much easier. You are obviously at a disadvantage with no attachments and no perks. You will feel a little sluggish, but you have to push through it until you get your 150. And the good thing about this is that you can contribute to your other camos while you still earn these two. The Skulls camo, you need 10 Bloodthirsties, and the Ronin camo, you need 20 double kills. So the good thing, in addition to doing two camos at the same time, is really you get to do four at the same time, because every double kill and every Bloodthirsty you manage to get without perks or attachments will contribute to the camo progression. So that's a great thing if you can be as efficient as possible until you get your 150. Once you get your 150, take a look at how many Bloodthirsties and double kills you need. Then I would highly recommend throwing on a suppressor, maybe extended mags or fast mags. Whatever your desired class is that will help you for those Bloodthirsties, that's what you're going to want to do. But I highly recommend using a suppressor to keep yourself off the radar. Maybe extended mag if you're using the Vector, Scorpion, those have fast fire rates. Long barrel for your PDW maybe, I'm not sure. Another tip on how to keep your streak and get those bloodthirsties is use a UAV and counter UAV. The counter UAV helps a lot more than you think because a lot of us don't have Ghost. I'm Prestige 1 level 40. I perma unlocked the AN with my first permanent unlock token. So odds are a lot of us are not ghosted. So whenever your opponent does put out a UAV and you have 3 or 4 kills, that's going to be annoying if you get shot around the corner or something. So if you do manage to get a counter UAV, I would highly recommend you, keep it. Whenever you get another streak, you put one up in the sky just to keep yourself safe. That is something that I highly recommend doing. That is what I did. Doesn't matter if it's hardcore or core. UAV, counter UAV, if you want, you could throw on the VSAT. You could throw on a hunter killer drone, lightning strike. That doesn't matter, but your UAV and counter UAV will help you a lot, especially when it comes to stacking those bloodthirsties. And that's pretty much it. I got my MP7 gold at first, and then I blitzed right through. I got 2 guns gold in one day twice, my Scorpion and 𝐃𝐞𝐯, and then my Vector and PDW. So super efficient games in free-for-all, and then you go out and you have super efficient games with no perks and no attachments on your weapon, and you'll get 1 gun gold a day, if not more. So super happy I got diamond SMGs already. I think I'm going to go either to ARs or shotguns next. Then I'm going to do snipers, and I'm thinking of doing guides for all of them. So judging how quickly I got the diamond SMGs once I committed to it, I think I'm going to do more camo guides. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.